Firstly, I want to start by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yakakadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, as a salutation to all the Akim who are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is the brother Yakazakala from James, Jamaica, here to do a lesson on the glory of our salvation entitled. So, this lesson will be centered around the chariots of the Most High and the elect being beamed up at that time. I'll start out with this precept. This is Luke 21 verse 28. I'll start at 27. It says, "And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." You see me? And what is that cloud? That's a chariot. You see me? And Yahushai, or sure in what calls Jesus or Yeshua, or in those other names which are not his name, which Yahushai is the correct name, the Son of the Most High. You see me? Him, I go come back in a chariot, with a chariot, man. And it's gonna be a very big chariot. You see me? As the scripture describes it. And at that time, this world, this current society is going to end. And the kingdom of heaven is going to be established. You see me? And what we're doing, we're laboring to enter into that time. But we know all the things that shall come upon us, as he prophesied unto us, you see me? And the various prophets prophesied unto us. And we're looking for those prophecies to come to pass. But meanwhile that, we're seeing a beautiful sign. And that's an increase in chariots, man. Our brother put up a video the other day, walking. He was doing a lesson. And in that lesson, he was noticing a chariot flying past, man. And when he stopped to video that chariot, there was a fleet of them. Brother saw 6-7 chariots, man. That's a beautiful sign. And also over here, where I live in Jamaica, I'm seeing more and more chariots, man. And that's a beautiful sign. And the scripture points out in verse 28, it says, "And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." And why the scripture say that? Because those chariots, man, are going to come and beam us up. You see me? As in, this precept says, Isaiah 11 verse 11, it says, "And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, and from Egypt, and from Patmos, and from Cush, and from Elam, and from Shinar, and from Hamath, and from the islands of the sea." It says, so Mosai, I got send all of them chariots, man, to deliver his people, to recover them, to beam them up. Namely the elect. As 144,000 men, 12,000 from each tribe and nation of Israel. As when he beam them up, them are going to look and behold the destruction of Mr. Babylon. What where is Mr. Babylon? That's the great America. Isn't it? The whole that sit upon the beast. America. That country, man. And during that time, we are going to be recovered. You see me? Name some men of the elect is going to be headed for this truth. But some will get spiritual power, and some will get delivered with a chariot beam. You see me? And these chariots have been always from the days when Moses lead out the Israelites out of Egypt, man. And what form the chariot did the chariot came in? This is Exodus 13 verse 21. It says, "And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of cloud to lead them the way, by night in a pillar of fire to give them light, to go by day and night." So the Most High lead them by a chariot. As in, with chariot come in various forms and sizes. This one in the form of a cloud by day and a fire by night. He said, "He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people." From why? Because Moses used this chariot for delivering people. And as same so, he might use the chariots again for delivering people out of Mr. Babylon. As the scripture says, "No more shall they speak of the Lord delivering people from Israel, from Egypt, Salakia, but from the northern country." And that northern country is Mr. Babylon. You see me? America. Next precept. And this is Psalms 68 verse 17. Says, "The chariots of Yahweh, Baal Shem Yahushai, are 20,000, even thousands of angels." So even the chariots are angels, man. So the Lord is among them. So Yahushai is going to be among them, as in Sinai in the holy place. As in, so the Most High are going to send these chariots. The scripture says, how much of them? 20,000, even thousands. As in, so there are thousands of chariots. As in, they have one or two or six. But it's a beautiful thing if you see one or two or six, man. You see, every time you see them, you call Allah Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushai. As you give praises. Because we know what they are, man. And Esau, even though they try to cover them up, as in, even though they try to predictive program the people's mind against them to believe they are UFOs and they are alien vessels coming to destroy the earth or coming to take over the earth or abduct people and all their folly. You see me? The Lord save our minds, you see me, and give us this knowledge, this wisdom, truth, and understanding to know what they are, man. To know that they are the vessels for salvation. In right term, that we are going to be beamed up when Mr. Babylon is going to be destroyed. Our priest accept. Isaiah 26 verse 20 says, "Come my people, enter thou into thy chambers." And what the chambers? The chariots. "And shut thy doors about thee, hide thyself, as it were for a little moment." And for that little moment is a hour. You see me? Because scripture saying in 1 hour, roughly paraphrasing, shall the Lord destroy Babylon off the face of the earth, man. It says, "Hide thyself as it were for a little moment, until the indignation be overpassed." And indignation means righteous anger. "For behold, the Lord cometh out of his place to punish the inhabitants of the earth for their iniquity, as in for their wickedness. And the earth also shall disclose her blood, and shall no more cover her slain." As in, so the Most High is going to destroy America, utterly destroy America, as the scripture says. And in that destruction, we are going to be beamed up. So how is he going to do that? When the missiles and fire off on America, you see me? Hundreds of warheads, thousands of warheads, millions of warheads being rained down on America to be utterly destroyed. You see me? Out of that, the remnant, you see me, of Israel is going to be saved. And the Most High always save a remnant, man. And in this time, it's the faithful men working and laboring in this truth, looking for destruction and watching the times. As you may know, that we're going to be delivered out of these destruction, man. Because Yahweh also got delivered. Yahweh also got beamed up by a chariot. You see me? This is Acts 1 verse 10. Start of verse 9, it says, "And when he had spoken these things, while they beheld, he was taken up, and a cloud received him out of their sight." You see me? And the same cloud was spoken about in Exodus. It's a chariot. You see me? The vessels of our salvation, it says, "And while they looked steadfastly toward heaven, as he went up, behold, two men stood by them in white apparel, which also said, Ye men of Galilee, why stand ye gazing up into heaven? This same Yahushai, which is taken up from you into heaven, shall so come in like manner, as ye have seen him go into heaven." You see me? So if Yahushai being beamed up, after he finishes work, going into heaven, is likewise that we are going to be beamed up as well. That we are going to be saved. And Yahushua is going to be coming back in a chariot, man. As the vision says, if them who pierce him are going to see him. This is Revelation 1 verse 7 says, "Behold, he cometh with clouds, and every eye shall see him." You see me? And they also which pierced him, and all creatures of the earth shall wail because of him, even so a man. And don't close at the chariots, man. And namely, the chariots are on two different type of missions in that time. In the time of our salvation, in the time of us to be delivered. You see me? Hopefully we are part of the elect. This precept show the second mission of the chariots. This is Zechariah 5 verse 3. The start of verse 1 it says, "Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying road. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying road. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For everyone that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it, and everyone that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it." You see me? And who steal and who swear the most? Esau, Edom, the wicked. You see me? So-called white man. You see me? He steal the children of Israel. He steal them identity. He steal them heritage. He go around and he steal from various nations. The scripture saying he take what is not his. And just roughly paraphrasing. Does it mean in all of these things, man? Continue says, "I will bring it forth, said the Lord of hosts, and shall enter the house of the thief, Esau Edom, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name, and shall remain in the midst of the host, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof." Does it mean? So that is in the next mission of the chariots, to lay waste to the house of Edom. And what is his house? This kingdom, this rulership. Does it mean this is going to be destroyed? And the chariots is going to beam. Does it mean laser beams and destroyed? Does it mean along with those missiles? And then final precept and close out. Says Isaiah 31, verse 5 says, as birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem. And who's Jerusalem? Jerusalem is a people, the Israelites. Defending also, he will deliver it, and passing over, he will preserve it. That's it. So, just want to end it on that note. Shows you chariots is vessels of our salvation. So that was what we said was defined. We say call Allah Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Yakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Stone, and salutation to all the Akim out there pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.